Hello all.
Boom. Cue the sick intro. We had major technical difficulties today.
If you guys, we sort of touched on our jerry rig setup here, but you guys don't even know what we do for you.
You just don't know.
It's amazing.
Golly. This is major amateur hour.
Amazing what we're doing for you. But that's okay. We like it. Hope everybody's having a great week.
Absolutely.
I know it's Tuesday.
Absolutely.
I missed you guys. Believe it or not. Especially you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Let me tell you, I didn't think about you one time, unfortunately. Except for Friday, I thought about you. Or Friday, I thought, well, Thursday. And then last Tuesday, obviously. But in between, I didn't hardly have any time to think, so.
Well, I had lots of time. Because you waited in line at Disneyworld, and yeah, it was long.
So the Fast Pass thing is not an option?
No, the Fast Pass thing is amazing.
Okay, gotcha.
If you're going to go, take a Fast Pass.
So while he was at Disney, I was doing camp, and some of you may have picked up on or may have tried to catch up, I tried to do a little short thing Thursday for you guys, but again, amateur hour when it comes to video stuff. So hey, I did the best that I could, and we'll go from there. So we had our annual FCS camp, which was a major success. We had a pretty strong turnout. For the 4 days, it was pretty intense, to say the least. Saturday we actually did stick sparring, and Stabby's tired. His quadriceps are killing him because he's old and raggedy. But we had a really great time. A strong turnout. A lot of people picked up some stuff. We were able to share a lot of information. So yeah, that's about it. I mean, we went over everything from stick to boxing, knife, eclectic weaponry as far as like sarongs and walking sticks. I think they actually went over walking sticks and stuff too.
Sarongs?
Sarong, yeah. People think it's what, well, actually, yeah, it is what chicks wear over their bathing suit and all that kind of stuff.
My wife had one in Florida.
Yep, it's that's what they use for. But it's
what I said? If that's sarong, I don't want to be right.
He's got a million of them. They just keep coming. I don't know where they're coming from, but they're coming from somewhere.
Hey Brian. Hey John. Sorry.
Hey John, what's up? How's it going?
Brian said he got to shoot the PhD at the Industry Team Challenge and loved the Novak sights that we put on. I may have slid out a special edition with some Novak sights just so let's see how they liked it.
What do we normally put on those?
Usually we do the Tritium XS sights.
Okay.
But anyway, sorry. Go ahead. Just want to say
it's all good.
Yeah.
So that's it, man. Just basically an entire weekend of hanging out with tribe and basically family and throwing each other around and getting welted and hitting the head by sticks. And
your family time is much different than mine.
Yeah. It was good though. We had a really good time. So we'll try to start plugging this closer next year to give you guys a chance to maybe take part in it. Because it was a really strong turnout, and everyone's welcome. You don't have to be a Kali guy or anything like that. Everybody's welcome. It's a wide open. It's pretty much a wide open invitation. Anybody from any system can come and have a great time with us. So it was really good.
That's cool. If you want to get hit in the face, go hang out with him.
That's it.
Sounds good. So, well, I'm glad it went well. I hate that I missed it, but you got to have family time too.
Yep.
And so we did that. So I went to Disney. My mom and dad, my brother, my wife and my son and I, we went to Disney, and we did Disney World, all the parks at Disney World, and we did Universal, both parks in one day, which was a bit, whew, but it was good. We had fun. We did the Blizzard Beach or Blizzard Bay water park.
Gotcha.
We did that on Saturday, the last Saturday before we left, and that was cool.
Is that like Typhoon Lagoon and all that jazz they got going on over there? Okay.
So they had a lazy river that went around the outside of the park. It took about an hour if you actually did the whole thing.
Wow.
So naturally, I was ready to lay there for an hour and do nothing at that point because that was the end of the week. I was pretty tired.
Gotcha.
My son is 10, and he wants to go everywhere really fast.
Yep.
So, which is fine. It's cool. What's up, Craig, Scott? Boone. Boone is my homeboy.
What's going on, gents?
But so anyway, so we get in the lazy river. He says, "Dad, let's get in the lazy river," and I'm like, "Yes, let's do that." And we made it about, I don't know, 100 yards, and it was the exit for the huge water slide. He was like, "Let's go!" So
what, did you just like jump off your tube and just?
Yeah, it was one of those, where it was like the figure 8 inner tube, and I was on one side, naturally already weighing him down a little, and then he jumped off, so naturally, there I go, which was fine. It was only a couple feet deep, but anyway, so we go wait in line for 30 minutes, but we get on the biggest slide they have.
One of these straight down.
It wasn't, well, this one, they had one straight down, and then they had one that went down and out, and down and out, and down and out.
Okay.
Right? So, I'm a big boy. And you get a lot...
Picking you out of the trees.
You get a lot of this mass moving down quickly. Well, naturally after the first, little bump, I had to close my eyes because of the water, So the second bump, it was pretty...
So you just completely cleared that?
I was rolling pretty good on the second. The third bump, I was airborne.
Yeah.
For a couple seconds.
Scared to death.
I'm thinking, please God, let me be centered. Because the thing wasn't, barely wide enough for me.
Yeah, that's it.
But I made it. I'm okay. And I said, that was great, son. Let's
not do it again.
Let's go over here to the wave pool. But it was a lot of fun. We had a great time. One thing I will mention, I hadn't seen a little drama. Dude damn near died in the wave pool. All of a sudden the whistles go off, all the lifeguards are jumping up, and you look over and about 6 dudes are carrying this guy out. And he is completely the wrong color and just dead weight, right?
Wow.
Like, for real, almost died. So what I will say is Disney handled it really well, because naturally everybody tried to see what was going on, looky-loos,
Mm-hmm.
Dude was the wrong color. People had their kids, and they were all so the kids were all looking, and some of them were crying. But the Disney people, they got everybody locked off, step back, step back, step back. They got the dude revived, took him off on a stretcher, he was sitting up, he was conscious. Good for him. Well, in the meantime, here's what's funny. In the meantime, we're sitting there, and there's this guy and this girl and her kid and another girl, and they're a couple, beach chairs away from us, and we see him start jawing, right? So this guy, after a couple minutes, grabs a handful of sand and just smashes this chick in the side of the head with it, baseball style, in her ear. And I was like, what's up with that? So I thought it was his girlfriend, and it was a domestic dispute, if you will.
Oh, wow.
So this is not even 10 feet from where they're reviving this guy.
Wow.
And so the Disney people had to handle that
at the same time.
So kudos to Disney, Blizzard Beach, Blizzard Bay. I'm sure you're watching, so good job.
Just goes to show you how close we are to just completely imploding.
Yeah, and I thought, wow. And Amanda was ready to jump. My wife, she's ready to jump up and punch dude in the face, and I'm like, I am too, but probably shouldn't do that right now. But anyway, other than that,
considering they wouldn't let you go unarmed,
right? That is the other thing we want to talk about. So every theme park I went into, I had a little small, bag. Took water. I recommend you take your own water, maybe some snacks. It was hot when we were there, but they've got water fountains everywhere. You can take your own water. You can take your own snacks. What you can't take in are firearms, knives of any kind, or anything that looks like a weapon, including toy guns. And one's a big surprise to me was selfie sticks.
You can't take a selfie stick.
They told you when you got on the little tram from the parking lot to take you to the park, no selfie sticks. So I thought, I am grossly unprepared for that situation. So I thought, what would Rob do? So when you go into a place like that, there are ways to prepare yourself for not being armed with your typical,
your regular stuff,
your regular kit. So I thought, this would be something good for us to address here, because I know a lot of people, summertime, I know it's getting towards the end of the summer. This may have been more helpful at the beginning, but people go to parks, theme parks, where you're not allowed to carry. They check you go through metal detectors. There's no way to get around it. And I thought maybe this would be a good topic to discuss for everybody.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. There's a lot of different directions you can go in. That's kind of one of the reasons. And I'm not pitching Filipino martial arts by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying
but it's
that
what you know.
is what we do.
Right.
It's not just about knives and sticks and sarongs.
Right.
It's about the understanding of striking weapons, cutting weapons, and flexible weapons. One obviously used to high impact damage.
Right.
The next one's for cutting, slicing, and then obviously the third one is for, any kind of flexible weapon is basically used for asphyxiation.
McNew says he carries a selfie club.
That's awesome. A monognock, with a thing on the end of it. And that's another thing too, is that the concept of improvised weapons. I hate that it's corny. Everybody says I am the weapon. Well, in reality, what you got going on between your ears is really the most powerful weapon that you've got. And if chance favors the prepared mind, so if you've stayed on the curve of being prepared with stuff, then technically speaking, if you look around hard enough, or if you practice observing an improvised weapon and how to find them, it actually becomes pretty second nature. But now there are a few things that you can take with you. I'm going to go ahead and grab some keys here really quick. Obviously, this lanyard is probably not the best lanyard you could use, but there's a lot of, like my daughter, she'll make lanyards for me out of paracord, but she'll make them longer,
Right.
so that the loop is much larger. Okay, and that, in some cases, they may not call you on that, which would be nice, because there's some of these things that you could put a monkey's fist with a golf ball in it, a lot of other things like that. And what you've got, if you've got a lanyard that's got a little bit more distance to it, you've got a flexible weapon now.
Right.
You got something that can be used for retention, asphyxiation, all kinds of different stuff. And all you need is just a little bit of training on how to use flexible weapon.
Right.
With that being the case, anything flexible, extension cords, anything like that become weapons.
John said towel if you're at the water park.
Yes, towel, absolutely. But again, this is not something that you watch Born Identity and you can go do.
Right.
You have to train.
What if you watch all the Born Identities?
Well, if you watch all the Born Identities, you get couch cred, but it's really not going to help you out in the reality of trying to do something.
Right.
And then obviously, impact weapons, rocks. Believe it or not, water bottle, when it hasn't been opened, when the seal hasn't been broken, the plastic end part of it,
Right.
aim for the temple. That would really give somebody a really nice shot. You're on your backpacks. If you learn flexible weapon techniques, you can use, if you've got a large shoulder strap and you extend the strap out and tie off the excess and put a decent sized loop in it, there's ways you can use that to retain, restrain, and asphyxiate as well. I think it's just more the concept of a tactical mindset and having good situational preparedness. And you can go on forever on that. I know you're taking a new pistol class and all that, and I think they even go, drawing from undercover,
Right.
All that kind of stuff. That's a mindset. That's really,
Yeah.
that's not really a technique. It's a mindset. It's changing your train of thought, and then moving on it, practicing,
Right.
practicing your draw from undercover, even your blades or your lanyard or what have you.
Right. Well, I know that I always consider myself somewhat, situationally aware. I watch what's going on. I sit myself in what I think are tactical places in a restaurant. You can see the doors,
Yeah.
know where your exits are, things like that.
Yeah.
But that was really the first time I thought to myself, wow, I'm really unprepared. If a situation was to happen, I have nothing that I know what to use.
Yeah, yeah. And
So then it's on me to train, to get in, and to learn to watch Born Identity as many times as I
absolutely.
need to.
And not to mention just good hand-to-hand skills. And this goes back to, if you don't have something near you, hey, go learn Muay Thai, go learn BJJ, go do something,
Yeah.
go learn how to box. You know, there's boxing gyms nationwide. Go learn how to box. There's so many good physical attributes that you can learn from boxing. Bobbing, weaving, footwork, timing, accuracy. I mean, there's just... And those can all translate into other things. Here's something else that you guys may want to consider. Tactical pens. Very, very, very useful. And I don't think some of these new tactical pens that are coming out don't exactly... yeah, see? This one may be a little too tactical.
It's a little big.
Yeah, Disney guys may look at that. Yeah,
it's in the drawer.
Exactly, but they do make them now where they're, you know, they're pretty much a little bit smaller. This one, I don't know, you may or may not fly with this one, but this is a really good example of a tactical pen. I don't know whose brand this is. Looks like Uzi.
Yeah, that was in a shooter bag from a match or something I got.
These are fantastic. These tactical pens are absolutely fantastic. I mean, you can send somebody for a loop with one of these things. With a little bit of extra training, I mean, you can really do some damage with these things. But yeah, boxing, flex. I mean, there's just so many directions. I think it's the biggest thing is be self-autonomous about it and do some research. You know, do some research and be prepared.
Right.
You know, because I mean, I'll be honest with you guys, and they're out there, man.
Yeah.
And they're,
well, I mean,
they're just everywhere.
Look at that, because everyone in there is disarmed.
Yeah.
There is not an armed person in there, and I don't know what their security protocol is.
Gun-free zone.
Yeah. And there's thousands of people there.
Yeah.
And families. I mean, if you want to inflict damage to a group of people, a theme park is the perfect place to do it.
Yeah.
It's nothing but kids and families.
Yeah.
And that would be, you know, devastating to any, you know. It's just, but like I said, I got there and I thought, wow. For the first time, I felt really unprepared.
Yeah. What do I got
to defend myself, my family, anybody. And that sort of hit me for a loop. And I thought, when I get back, I'm talking to Rob about it.
Yeah, just it's all a matter of being, you know, I hate so corny. I am the weapon. You know, because it's been so.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
over, but
it's
it's
true.
It's true. I mean,
yeah.
You know, the most dangerous thing is you. I mean, look at it. Look at you take it. You know, look at these terrorists. Look at all these different people. Most of these folks didn't start out being terrorists. They people who made themselves into that. They
Right.
turned themselves into it. Well, it's the same mindset the average individual can apply to themselves. They can say, hey, you know what? I'm going to think better of myself. I'm going to train. I'm going to work out. I'm going to become more prepared for certain types of situations.
Yeah, that's what I got to do. Don't be a sheep.
Yeah, don't be sheep. Definitely.
All right, that was pretty serious. I feel serious. So let's lighten up a little bit.
I'm always serious.
You're pretty serious.
Most of the time.
You're definitely the turkey sandwich.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so for Tech Talk this week, we are going to talk muzzle devices. So if you see me disappear and come back, this week, this is the ARC 300. This is the newest gun we've released. It's a 300 blackout. But what I want to talk about this week is the muzzle device on the end. Now, before I was Pew Pew, I was Big Timber. So, some of you may know me as Big Timber. But anyway, this is the Big Timber brake. This is a muzzle brake I designed because I hated a 15-inch handguard and a 16-inch barrel. There was a gap right here, a little half-inch gap. I hated it. It looked horrible. So I designed this one countersunk so that when you thread over the barrel, it goes down inside the handguard. Now this is also very effective muzzle brake. I'm using this on my 3-gun this year also. So I'm going to put up some video. It shoots very flat. I did a 60-round mag dump on an 8.5 by 11 just piece of paper, and all 60 rounds. I was at 15 yards. And all 60. There were 60 holes in that paper. I counted it myself. Took my shoes off and everything. So you're going to look at your rifle and go, well, I want to put something cool on the end of it. So how do you do that? Most barrels, I say most, because not all of them are. Most barrels are just threaded barrels. So you can use an adjustable wrench, you know, any monkey wrench you have at the house. Secure the upper in a vise or whatever you have. The upper blocks work really well, but if you don't have that, somehow secure your upper or secure the lower, the whole gun, whatever, so that the thing won't twist, and just take it off. It comes off counterclockwise. They're all right-handed threads on AR-15s, M16s. The question may be, well, what do I want to do? What do I want to change? Why do I want to change it? So, chances are, if I don't drop that on the ground, you have something like this, which is this is an A2 flash hider or an A1 flash hider. And this is what most companies use, standard equipment on their production rifles. Now, these are military grade, this is what the military uses. Excuse me, and these are flash hiders, okay? So in your muzzle devices, you got flash hiders, compensators, and muzzle brakes, okay? And you're going to say, Nick, what's the difference?
Yeah, exactly.
So your flash hiders do just that. They hide flash. They're designed to keep the big fireball down while you're shooting. The shorter the barrel, the more fire you're going to get out the end because you've got more unburnt powder, right? And these are the type that help keep that down. This one gives you that star pattern you see on TV all the time.
Yeah.
Now there are some versions out there like this one. This is a Phantom A2 flash hider. It's a little bit longer, but
is that one of ours?
This is one of ours.
Okay.
You get this on our website. The Phantom A2 flash hider. It's a little bit longer, but it hides your flash very, very well. So not only do you get a better flash hider, you've actually got these
knurled ends.
Knurled ends, a little bit of impact
For pain compliance.
That's right. Get people's attention.
Yep.
So if you have to, you can jab them in, turn them, and get. I have some law enforcement friends that say when people are getting out of line, just a little poke and turn, and they start listening again. So
a little switch.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, you're good. Now, if you want to get real extreme with that sort of thing, this is a Tromix shark brake.
I like Tromic.
Now, this is a muzzle brake, meaning it routes all your gas out. It's very, very loud. Okay, with these, they're not as loud. They're pushing more of it forward. This helps with gas control. And muzzle brakes and compensators are pretty close. Recoil reduction and muzzle rise are the things that you're looking for in there.
Reduce muzzle rise?
Reducing your muzzle rise and reducing your recoil. So this one's real good for your recoil. You can see this one's been used. I pulled this out of a bin out in the back. It's a little rough. But the ports are in the top and not in the bottom. So that's to keep the muzzle down. The gas escapes towards the top.
Gotcha.
Okay, and very sharp points.
Sharp points.
Very, very sharp points. Like I stabbed myself twice bringing it from the back to the front. Compensators. This is the Carlson compensator, also available on our website. If you don't want to spend $100 on a compensator and you just need something to help keep your muzzle flat, this is a great one. Actually, when we first started working with Carlson, this was the one he sent me for a sample, and I was very impressed with it. I think retail's like $50 or $60 on them. So they work very well for what they are. Now, if you want to step that up a notch, this is on an upper that I built for a young man. It's a 14.5-inch barrel. Now, when you get into 14.5-inch barrels to comply with 16-inch legal laws for your barrel length, you need to permanently attach a muzzle brake or muzzle device long enough to put you over 16 inches. If it's permanently attached, it's part of the barrel, no laws are broken. Okay. This one has side ports, as you can see, big ports on the side, and it's very loud. The guy next to you at the range is not going to be your friend afterwards. He's not going to want to buy you a beer. But man, this one works really well. A lot of our shooters use them. I've sold a ton of them. They are fantastic.
I guess our friends at Mixed Flip, they're getting ready to do a...
That's right. I think we
sent
one.
We got some friends over at Mixed Flip. They got a YouTube channel. We just did a box. We sent a box over to them. He did an open box, and in there it's our bullseye, right?
Yep.
That's our bullseye, and he's going to be doing some field testing with it and doing some video work. And I've spoken to a lot of guys in the shop on that one. That seems to be the house favorite.
Yeah, it really does the best as far as muzzle rise and recoil reduction, both. Truth About Firearms did a test out of, I think it was 36 or 38 muzzle brakes, and we got second. This one is 3-gun legal. The one that won is not. It's a much larger, there's rules about how big a round it can be and how long it can be.
Okay.
We met those standards. The one that beat us did not. But it was in recoil reduction, whatever.
Gotcha.
Now, if you're going to change your flash hider, one thing you need to know is what your thread pitch is. Most of your 5.56, 223 barrels are a 1/2 by 28 threads per inch is what it is, TPI. And make sure you buy that when you order it, you check it, and it says 1/2 by 28 TPI. If you're shooting something like 300 blackout, and a lot of your larger calibers, now 6.5 Grendel, 6.8, they're running 5/8 by 24.
So that's 30 cal and above.
Right, 30 cal, and there's some of the smaller than 30 cal, but 5/8 by 24. So if you get the wrong, if you get a 5/8 24 flash hider and try to put it on a 1/2 by 28 threaded barrel, it's just going to slide over as you're not going to get any engagement at all. So it's not going to be one of those things you accidentally do.
Okay.
There are some other thread pitches out there, 1/2 by 36. AKs are in left-handed threads, and they've got some crazy metric. But with ARs, if you're in 5.56, 223, mostly 1/2 by 28 TPI. If you're in 30 cal, it's 5/8 by 24. Most of the muzzle devices we make in both.
Gotcha.
So, keeping that in mind, you're also going to want to order and make sure either it comes with or you order a crush washer. And again, these are specific to the threads. I don't know how well you can see, it's really small, so I'm going to move a little closer. But this is a 5/8 24 crush washer. This is a 1/2 by 28 crush washer. As you can see, there's a big difference. You can almost put one inside the other. So make sure you get a crush washer, because once you crush a crush washer and you index your muzzle device, with the ports on top where it's supposed to be,
That's
you take it off, that crush washer is crushed.
Hence crush washer.
Hence the name crush washer. So they don't come back. Now, we're running out of time, so I'm going to give you the deal of the week. Ta-da! Big timber brakes. Normally $99.99. Use coupon code Pew Pew and get a big timber brake for $75. So get on star15.com. We do these in 1/2 by 28 and 5/8 24. If you're looking for something to take out that stupid gap at the end of your handguard to your barrel, get yourself a big timber brake. Get it while it's on sale. You got a whole week. Tell your friends, your neighbors, your preacher. Let him tell
Whoever.
everybody.
Your rabbi, whatever.
That's right. $74.99. Coupon code Pew Pew. All one word. And
We're running out of time here, folks.
we're out of time. It's
If you
4:30
guys
again.
have any questions about anything we've talked about here today, it'll be Nick at star15.com or Rob at star15.com. So any questions you got, or you can keep messaging us over here on Facebook. So that's pretty much going to wrap it up for today.
That's it.
So we'll see you guys out there. Be safe.
See you next week.